public hearing of the Committee on Accountability of Public Officers and Investigation on the issues surrounding the participation of the Philippine delegation in the WHO FCTC COP10, which resulted in the Philippines receiving its 5th Dirty Ashtray Award, is now called to order. So let me proceed with an opening statement. This was really serve as a recap of everything that we have discussed, no? Because it's been a couple of months and maybe there's a few new faces here. So in our last hearing, we invited the members of the Philippine delegation and other concerned stakeholders to shed light on the issues surrounding the country's participation in COP10 and its receipt of the 5th Dirty Ashtray Award. During the said hearing, the following was established. The following facts were established. The vital role of DTI, DOH, and FDA in the full and proper implementation of the vape law. The lack of testing capabilities of DTI as a regulator, while the FDA has the necessary equipment and resources to ensure that the interest of health is being pushed forth. So as a background, for this is more siguro for our viewers, the vape law states that it is DTI that will handle the safety requirement, which includes the health safety, which is something I am totally against. It is something which I feel is contradictory to the mandate of DTI. It is something I believe DTI does not have the competence to execute. And from the hearings we've had, and let's see what is new today, like I said, they do not have the competence to ensure that the safety component of the regulating the vapes can be complied with on the side of DTI. It was also established that DTI can only test the device, the battery, and the charger. So when they talk about safety, they're talking about the device. Ito ba ay makukuryente ka ba pag hinawakan mo to? Ito ba ay parang it's like a gadget, no? That was established, but DTI does not have the capacity to test the consumable and refillables, especially the chemical content. Per DTI, they do not have the following professionals, which the FDA has when they were in charge of testing, which they had and they still have. Pharmacists, nurses, engineers, toxicologists, globally harmonized system experts on classification and labeling of chemicals. There is also an expert panel composed of clinical toxicologists, pharmacologists, addiction specialists, and pediatric specialists that DTI does not have. The Philippine government, it was emphasized during the hearing, must take a strong stance at the upcoming conference of parties this coming November by excluding agencies that have ties to the tobacco industry, declaring any conflict of interest, and prioritizing the protection of children and youth from all forms of tobacco use as provided in WHO FCTC Article 5.3 to protect public health policies from commercial and other vested interests of the tobacco industry. It was also established that the delegation should be headed by DOH, the agency that advocates positions that promote public health interests and ensure the delegates fulfill obligations according to the FCTC. So for this hearing, updates on the testing mechanism and regulatory measures currently in place to ensure compliance with quality and safety standards in the tobacco industry. We will get those updates. And then the current smoking prevalence, collection, and utilization of sin taxes. So the objective we have is to really ensure that our programs are aligned. Every government agency is looking in the same direction, is heading in the same direction. It is crucial to examine the existing strategies aimed to prevent smoking initiation among the youth. Napaka-importante niyan, especially the most vulnerable sector, the youth, and to support cessation efforts. So useless din kasi ang efforts natin. We are wasting public funds, which is the objective of the Blue Ribbon Committee, to make sure that walang mga katiwalian ang mga government officials in connivance with private groups. Because if DOH is doing one thing and then another agency is doing another thing, we're just wasting public funds. And this is a crime. So this is what we want to establish. We must remain vigilant against the slimy tactics employed by the tobacco industry and their allies, who persistently work to undermine public health policies through misinformation, aggressive marketing, and lobbying efforts. And that's why we try to invite all the agencies that are somehow involved and those that we can call upon for support, because sometimes you do not even know what work you are doing that is undermining the health policy. So we hope that through these hearings, a lot of people will be enlightened, particularly those who have decision-making skills and decision-making tasks in government. And to clarify the reason why I have to specify these slimy tactics is because every government official here needs to understand that these tactics exist. They've existed for, I don't know, half a century since the tobacco industry started promoting their own interest, which goes against public health. And if you cannot recognize it, then we cannot protect public health. These tactics aim to delay regulation, create loopholes, and normalize the use of harmful products, jeopardizing the progress we have made in safeguarding our community. So that said, I will ask our secretariat to give the oath for all those who are here for the first time.
Can we request all the resource persons who are attending for the first time to please stand up to take your oath? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this investigation? Please say I do if you do. Okay, thank you. You may sit down.
Okay, so I have a flow here. It may change, no, depending on the nature of the discussion, but more or less, I'll try to stick to this flow. We'll get an update from DTI on the testing, and then FDA, and then after that, we'll talk about the smoking prevalence. We'll hear from DOH and other doctors, and then we'll talk about syntax and its effects. So basically, that's the flow, and I will call you and tell you who's the next person so that you can prepare. So like I said, if to go to the restroom, whatever, then you kind of know when you have to be ready. Okay, so our first resource person will be from DTI. We invited Secretary Roque. Is the secretary here?
Madam Chair, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm Director Marcos Valdez of the DTI for Secretary Roque.
No, we invited the secretary and she confirmed.
I was informed on the way here that she could not make it. I don't know the reason, Madam Chair, but I'm here for the department.
Secretary Roque confirmed, right? She confirmed. She confirmed. And we don't have an excuse letter. So she said she would be here, and she asked that we accommodate her because she will be here from until 12. And I said that's more than enough time, right? So did anyone from my office receive a text or? We were just informed that she will not be attending the text for this. Does she have another? What did she give any excuse? Okay, so I'm gonna direct my message to the secretary since I'm sure this will reach her. Why don't you call her, director, and tell her this is a Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. In fact, any hearing of the Senate, the secretaries are supposed to take seriously. She's new to the job, so does she not know? Does she not know that her job requires attending Senate hearings when she is called?
Madam Chair, I'm sure the secretary knows. I'm just not privy
Then
to.
call her. Call her. Tell her this is a Blue Ribbon hearing and she's supposed to be here.
Yes,
It
Madam Chair.
surprises me that the secretary